on News 18. Sports from where you live.
Hey, you're back from this halftime. Thanks for sticking around. It is great to see you. We have 4 more games on our lineup, and let's just say these games are as entertaining as the ones that you just saw. So let's get into the action, shall we? We'll start off close to home with West Lafayette and LCC. The Central Catholic Knights are coming off a big win from last week. They'll be up against a fierce West Lafayette team who's had a stellar year so far. Into the game now, LCC on the attack, and QB Bobby Metzger is just out here dropping dimes. That pass was so fast to Robert Koch, I almost missed it. But I was able to catch up with Koch to get him striding into the end zone. CC down by 7. But this is West Lafayette's house, and quarterback Max Mullis lets the Knights know exactly that as he shrugs off a tackle and puts another 6 on the board for the Red Devils. And the student section really seemed to love that play because West Lafayette will give them another great one right after, with Mullis scrambling and finding Nico Rumbakis with room, and he seems to hop right on his horse and have no problem finding the end zone. That, folks, was a 90-yard touchdown, and I'd personally be tired after that run. But Metzger responds with an air raid of his own as he throws a 61-yard pass and finds Owen Moon downfield. CC is inching closer to Westside as the Knights put up another 6 points. But as much as the Knights would fight back, the Red Devils would fight back harder. Final score, West Lafayette wins 52-21. And we're going to move a little farther away from home now and take a look at how other teams fared in our area in week 4 of the high school football season. And let me just say this next game might be my favorite game because of the student section alone. Honored guest Sports 18's Maddie D'Addario tells us about the matchups she went to tonight. And honestly, Maddie, I'm just looking forward to seeing this next student section's theme.
Bree, I can honestly say that student section themes have gotten way more creative since I was in high school. Normally you see some neon or maybe USA theme, but Delphi's student section got creative tonight. Check this out. An Adam Sandler themed student section. They get a 10 out of 10 for me for this one. It was quite the scene. But let's move on down to the field to see how the Oracles did against the Sheridan Redhawks. Sheridan started out strong. First possession of the game. Peyton Cross takes this one and literally just can't be tackled until the end zone for about a 40-yard TD. And it's not every day you see a 230-pound running back. But Delphi responds pretty quickly. QB Cade Nielsen sends this one out to Cole Long, and he takes it for a nice long run. And then those two, wait for it. Yeah, those two just did it again, except Cole Long didn't have to go very far this time with a nice little jog into the end zone. A few possessions later, and Sheridan was able to move the chains all the way down to about 3 yards, and Zach Bills forces his way in for another Blackhawk tutty. Sheridan takes down Delphi 47-14. Now we head up north to see what went down between the Rensselaer Bombers and Twin Lake Indians. First of all, I love the synchronization of the Bomber O-line. It must have distracted the Indians because Caden Rowland makes this one look easy, putting Rensselaer on the board early. But how about this from Twin Lakes? On the kickoff return following that touchdown, Aiden Venter just gasses it and he's juking out everybody. I think this had to have been about an 80-yard return, which was unfortunately called back for holding, but I still had to give Aiden the shout out for this run. I mean, come on. And then back on the Bombers side of the ball, seems like Caden Rowland is their go-to guy, scoring both of Rensselaer's touchdowns in the first half. And of course, I had to give the defense some love too, come on. Gavin Bunzinger sends a nice spiral, but this is some textbook pass coverage from Logan Cooper. Rensselaer takes the win 34-7.
All right, thank you, Maddie, and great job like always. Moving back down south for our last game, we have quite the matchup with undefeated Southmont taking on the Frankfort Hot Dogs. Southmont QB Carson Chad throws it up, and somewhere in the jumble, it ends up in the hands of Frankfort's Keaton Myers for a hot dog interception. Now on offense, Frankfort QB Doug Wood sends a vertical pass to Jacob Burns, who takes it wide for a few yards before Southmont's Carson Chad gets enough of the Burns to trip him up. On the Mountainese side of the ball, Nick Scott sends a beauty so long to Kyler McCandles, but the Wieners came in hot with Garrett Berg breaking up what would have been a great catch. But the Mountainese did find the end zone plenty of times tonight, like on this nice run by Wyatt Woodle for the Southmont touchdown. Southmont gets a major win, 60-70. And just like that, we are now officially done with the highlight portion of our Friday Night Frenzy. But notice how I said highlight portion? That's because we still have way more to cover on the other side of this timeout. We have to take a look at scores from around the area, of course, and get a preview of the Purdue football game that takes place at home tomorrow. So stick around, we'll see you after this timeout.